I hate to say something is hard, but cross-stepping is one of those things. I've been trying to shoot a video on cross-stepping for weeks. I had one failed attempt where it was just way too windy, and since then the waves really haven't worked out with my schedule. So now's the perfect time to show you how I practice cross-stepping when surfing is just not an option.
So the first method I like to use is practicing on a 2x4. And what I love about a 2x4 is you can put it anywhere. You can practice in front of the TV, you can practice outside, and it's generally fairly safe. The worst thing that'll happen is you might get a splinter, or in my case, you're gonna anger your wife. So let me show you how I like to use a 2x4 to work out the cross-stepping kinks. So how I do this is I get on the 2x4 and I get myself into a good cross-stepping position. So that means my upper body is open, I have a little bit of bend in my knees, and I'm looking ahead. You don't want to be looking down at your feet the whole time. You want to be looking ahead. The whole purpose of this 2x4 is to work out what feels the best. We're all built differently, so everyone's gonna have their own style of cross-stepping, but just experiment. You can bend your knees more, see if that feels right. You could try being really upright while you cross-step, see if that feels right. You could also try leading with your hips rather than leading with your shoulders. You can also really work on your backwards cross-stepping by making sure you keep your upper body upright and not leaning too far back while you're cross-stepping backwards. You can try taking a ton of small steps, or you can go real big steps and go faster. But you should be able to do this back and forth without looking at your feet, without losing your balance at all. Once you get a position you're happy with, just do it over and over and over again. So practicing on a 2x4 obviously doesn't fully resemble surfing, but that's not what we're using it for. We're using it to try and build up the muscle memory in our legs and our upper body when it comes to cross-stepping. When we're out surfing, we only have a few seconds on each wave sometimes, so it's a big struggle to build up that muscle memory, and that's where the 2x4 is perfect. So my next favorite method is practicing on a skateboard. The first time I tried cross-stepping on a skateboard, I made the exact same mistake that I make while cross-stepping on a surfboard, and it just shows you how close they both are to surfing, at least when it comes to cross-stepping. Any old longboard will do, but what's great about this is it adds an element of movement to it, so any mistake you make really has an effect on the skateboard itself. So what I quickly found with this was to make sure I lead with my hips, and it keeps things much more still. The other big thing I found that helps is to practice cross-stepping on the skateboard while you're in the middle of a turn. So the idea is that you cross-step while you're turning the board, and you don't stop turning the board throughout the whole cross-step process. So if you're a goofy footer like me and you struggle on frontside waves, practice turning left while cross-stepping. If you struggle on backside waves, practice turning right while cross-stepping. Now, the last method, and this is quite an exciting one. I got this idea from Stevenson from Noserides and Nosedives. I saw him practicing on a round wooden post, and I thought, that's a great idea. So I decided to try and make it even a little bit more difficult, and I got this 4-inch PVC pipe. Now this is fairly experimental as I just got this yesterday, but so far I'm absolutely loving it, and let me show you why. Now one thing I will say about this is that this is a death trap, okay? You could really hurt yourself on this, so make sure you're practicing in an area that if you fall, you're not gonna hit anything. You're also gonna need to be wearing shoes with a decently stiff bottom. This is what I'm wearing. Something like this where the bottom's a little bit stiff. And here's how we do it. Number one, you gotta take this slow. First thing you do is you put your back foot on, and all you're gonna do from here is make sure your shoulders are open and you're looking forward, and just take the weight off your other foot. And that's the first thing you gotta do. Just balance on the one foot a little bit until that starts to feel comfortable. And once that feels comfortable, then you can get on with both feet. And now we're on it and we're balancing. And when you're in this position, We're gonna take it slow, and all you're gonna do is shift your weight from your back foot. Most of my weight's on my back foot right now. You're gonna shift your weight from your back foot to your front foot. And you're gonna try to do that back and forth. Back, front to back. And you're gonna be trying to do that without letting the pipe roll left or right. If the pipe rolls from left to right as you're shifting to the front foot, that means your front foot is not technically on the center line. You can put your hands in front of you like this, and that helps. All right, and once you feel comfortable doing that, then you can start the cross-stepping. All right, and here's where it gets extremely hard. You just wanna take it slow. Very slow, very slow. And then for the hard part, you gotta work your way back. All right, now I didn't do that perfect, but there was so many adjustments my body was making the whole time, and you are not only building muscle doing this, but you are working out different ways to keep the pipe from rolling as you're cross-stepping. And boy, is it hard, but I love this so much. And now I'm gonna try to lead more with my hips. And straight away, leading with my hips is making this so much easier.
Practicing cross-stepping on land is extremely helpful, but that alone is not going to make you a better surfer. There's one more thing you have to combine with it, and in this video here, I show you what it is. Oh, that was perfect. All right, do it again.